What is up, everyone? Welcome back to All Takes No Whiffs. I am Alex, and that is Christian. And we are almost coming to the end of the WBC. There are 3 games left. We have 2 semifinal games in the championship. These past quarterfinal games were absolutely epic, honestly. Mexico and Puerto Rico, great game. USA and Venezuela was
Mhm.
an absolute slugfest. That was probably the best
Insane game.
game I've seen from the WBC so far this year. But for this video, we are going to be getting into the semifinal matchups, USA versus Cuba and Japan versus Mexico. So I'm really looking forward to get into this.
Oh yeah, these semifinals right here. I know Team USA versus Venezuela was best game of the WBC so far. There's a lot of room for these games to overtake that for sure. But to get things started though, you got Team USA versus Team Cuba. They're going to be facing off against each other today, actually in Miami, Florida. This game right here, I'm looking forward to this one because oh, I'm not gonna lie. Now that my team is out, I think I'm on the Team USA bandwagon, and easy for me. And Cuba is just they went 500 in pool play, but they've cooked up. They cooked up in the quarterfinal, beating Australia, and I think they got some solid pieces to make this a competitive game.
Yeah, I do too. And also, Cuba, they started out 0-2 in pool play. Then they went 2-2, won the tiebreaker with the top team in their pool. So, really kudos to them for getting here. I just don't they just don't have the firepower USA has, obviously. I mean, they got
Mhm,
some great names on their teams like Luis Robert and Yoel Moncada. We've been talking about them the whole tournament, and both of them
mhm,
picked it up in the quarterfinal like we said they would. But, I mean, outside of them, there's really not people who really, like, scare me outside of maybe,
mhm.
their leadoff guy, Ramos. I know he's a top prospect in the Dodgers organization. He's really only other guy who's kinda been making noise for them, and their pitching, they're starting a left-handed pitcher, Ronis Elias. I probably said his name wrong, but, if you've been watching the WBC, USA has been feasting off left-handed pitching.
Yeah, definitely not a good idea when you got Mookie, Mike Trout, and Goldschmidt as the top three, and you got Nolan Arenado in that lineup too. That's just a bunch of lefty killers. And the thing is with Trout, he kills lefties, but he really feasts off righties. So regardless of which side it's coming from with him, be scared. But yeah, this Team USA lineup, just with this pitching matchup in mind, just knowing that on paper, top to bottom, that they're definitely a better team than Cuba. I I'm seeing a slugfest from Team USA, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing too. I can see this being a high scoring game. Honestly, it could be a close game too because of USA's pitching. I know Adam Wainwright is starting for the USA tonight, but Adam Wainwright is not who he used to be.
Mhm.
If that curveball is working though, it could be a long day for Cuba. But if it's not, he's just not what he used to be. That fastball is flat, and I'm hoping it's a little different. Adam Wainwright tonight, pitching for his country, so we will see about that. But I mean, if Cuba's got any chance, it's definitely because of USA's pitching.
Yeah, and then the thing is, kind of like how I called with the Venezuela and USA game. I see this being high scoring on both ends. To be honest, like with that in mind, I just see Team USA having the edge for sure. Like their offense is about to pour it onto Cuba.
I mean, I agree with you. I think USA's they're definitely going to be winning this game. I see them moving on to the final. Getting a nice little day off. It kind of sucks that they had to play last night and then tonight, so back to back days. And all these other teams got a few days off, but
Mhm.
it's whatever. We'll do what we have to do. But I am really looking forward to this game tonight. To be honest.
Yeah, this game right here, obviously going to give us an idea of who's going to be in the final. Matching up against the winner of this other game, though, Japan versus Mexico. This is another game that is about to be wild. I told Alex before, I feel like there's more room for an upset in this game. I might be backtracking on that opinion, though. It's just, oh, Japan is dominant right now. I'm kind of my team's not in it right now technically, so I can't say I'm intimidated, but they're an intimidating team to match up against for sure. And then Mexico, the momentum we were talking about in our quarterfinal preview. they showed that full force fighting back against Puerto Rico like that. That was just a beautiful game watching them come back like that. But at the same time, Japan is not Puerto Rico. Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a lot better game than USA versus Cuba, a lot closer game. Both of these teams are playing unreal right now. Mexico gives up
Mhm.
4 runs in the first inning and doesn't give up a single run the rest of the game against Puerto Rico. Was absolutely, I wouldn't say lights out, but Julio Urias after the first inning, he figured it
Mhm.
out, and I was really happy to see that because I thought Mexico was about to be in trouble and Puerto Rico was just gonna run away with that game.
That's what
I
it
was
looked like.
happy. It really it was, and then a guy we've been talking about the entire freaking tournament, Randy Arozarena. This dude is out there doing everything. He made a game-saving catch, I think it was the 7th or 8th inning.
8th inning, I'm
8th
pretty
inning,
sure.
I mean, dude, that was an unreal catch, to be honest, on the run, hitting the wall, and then his reaction afterwards. I just loved all of his reactions. They would always, like, after pitches in the 9th inning when the game was almost over, this dude is out there throwing his hat, throwing his glove. I mean, this dude is just absolutely electric to watch.
Oh, yeah, and if you guys didn't see, Randy Arozarena said that that catch right there meant more than anything he's done in his career. He said it meant more than his 2020 World Series home run, and I just really wanna say to the people that say that the WBC doesn't matter, look at that, and it's annoying to me when they undermine it. I just if you think it doesn't matter, make it matter. It's baseball on the world level. This is countries representing each other. This is literally the World Cup of baseball. Can't stop trying to undermine it. Like I get the MLB. That's the main league for baseball for sure. But uh, when it comes to soccer, these teams in their main league, they pause what they're doing for the World Cup. Like it's that big of a deal for them. I feel like we need to have a little more of that mentality when it comes to the WBC as well. And I think a lot of the players feel that way for sure. I just that needs to be the general consensus about it, in my opinion.
No, no, you're spot on with that. I mean, this is literally the World Cup of baseball. I
Mhm.
mean, it's the best teams, best countries around the world, and it's really the MLB fans complaining. I don't see anyone else outside of the MLB complaining, and one thing that before we get too sidetracked on
Mhm.
this and get back to the game, but one thing I really wish they would do is kinda do it in season instead of
Mm.
before the season started. I feel like just before the season started, the players aren't ready yet. I mean, this ends a week before the season starts, so some of these guys are may not even be ready for the regular season because of spring training. So I feel like maybe kind of like how the World Cup does it, you do it in the middle
Mm.
of the season, take a little break. I mean, it's only happens every 3 years. Who cares if
Mm.
the MLB season lasts another month? I would freaking love that.
Yeah, dang, you got a good point about that. Because also, like, wouldn't it would just be better to see these players in mid-season form
Exactly.
representing their country. So, like, yeah, I know they're getting their spring training reps in now with this, but like, this shit matters. The WBC matters. People need to stop talking like it doesn't. Like you said, it's a lot of the MLB fans, and it's. I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree with them. I understand when a star player of yours gets injured in something that is not related to your team. That sucks for sure. But that very easily could have happened in a meaningless spring training game. So I it it's something I feel like you don't blame the WBC for an injury like that, especially with Edwin Diaz or Jose Altuve. Like those are just accidents that they can happen at any given moment on the field.
No, yeah, and I'm gonna say one last thing before
Mm.
we get back into the game. I've never been this excited about baseball this early in the year before. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I literally was jumping out of my seat when I saw the video of Trey Turner hit the home run. I wasn't able to watch the game live. I had to go back and rewatch it, but oh my god. As
Dog.
soon as he hit that ball, he knew it was gone.
Mhm.
It was unreal seeing the energy just from the players. I mean, how can you not like this? I mean, you see
Mhm.
literally the entire dugout was at home plate when he hit that home run. Like, I just don't understand. But let's get back into the game.
Oh yeah.
You can take over.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as this game, with this game, you can't tell me that the WBC don't matter because like the stakes for this game are about to be huge. Mexico, they're riding hard for their team, making and like them being at this point right now, it's an upset going into this WBC. I don't think really many people expected them to get here. So their team, their fans are riding hard for them. And when it comes to Japan, the viewership numbers have just been freaking insane. I'm pretty sure I saw something that like half of all the households tuned into that Japan Italy game. Like, dog. And my thing is, if people are still confused that there's a market in Japan for baseball, yeah, there's a huge market for baseball in Japan.
Second biggest league in the world.
So, yeah, this game right here is about to do numbers without a doubt, and just on the field, I think we're about to witness some top quality baseball. But to be honest with you, I don't see Japan losing this game. Mm-mm.
I don't either, and they got a guy on the mound, I'm probably gonna say his name wrong, but it's Roki Sasaki, Sasaki? Yeah, Sasaki, I think that's
Mhm.
right, this dude's electric. He's 21 years old, and he throws absolute gas. There was a stat that they had, after his last outing, he threw 66 pitches in his last outing, over 21 of them were over 100 miles an hour. That's
Damn.
ridiculous for someone that young, and the thing with this right now, with the pitch limits and everything, stamina is not gonna matter for this guy. This guy's gonna go all out for 1 or
Mhm.
2, maybe 3 innings if they need that.
I wanted to ask. I feel like I'm recalling this guy you're talking about. Is he the one that took Otani's velocity record in Japan right after Otani left?
I would assume so.
Okay,
I think
because
so, 'cause this dude, I mean, he's throwing at least 20 pitches over 100 miles an
yeah.
hour, then yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I've definitely heard some talk about him before, but yeah. With that in mind, probably gonna be the best pitcher Mexico has faced up to this point. So that's another factor. It's not that Japan's offense is overpowering. They're just very timely, and then you got those stars that are overpowering. So I I, I love what Mexico has done in this tournament so far, but I feel like their momentum is about to come to a screeching halt.
Yeah, and they got Patrick Sandoval on the mound, he's a solid pitcher, he kinda broke out with the Angels last year. I mean, I just this is probably the best pitcher they have other than Julio Urias, so,
Mhm.
I just don't know how I feel about him on the mound. I hope he pitches a good game, to be honest. He's got some good stuff. He doesn't throw too hard, but that sinker is very, very good that he has. So if anything's
Mhm.
gonna be working and effective, he needs that sinker to be working.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I know we were talking about the matchup that everyone wants to see is Trout versus Otani, the Angels teammates. This is the real matchup right here. Patrick Sandoval against Shohei Otani. Just messing. But in all honesty, I don't want to say I see a blowout just because I don't think Japan's offense is going to be like that, like to open the floodgates. But I think they're going to do what they have to do, and I think they're going to win this game relatively comfortably. I feel like with a by at least like a margin of like 3 runs.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, how comfortable do you think? Because I mean, I can see like 3 or 4 runs and that being kind of a close game still.
Yeah, it's
But
close, but it's like close, not that close, but not a blowout by any
yeah,
means.
it's not gonna be like 18-2, like
Mm-mm.
whatever that Korea score was in their last game against China, or 22-2 or whatever, but, yeah, I'm really looking forward to both of these games. I wanna see a Japan versus USA matchup. I know there is one matchup everyone really wants to see in that, but I'm honestly not quite sure if Otani is gonna be able to pitch or if they're gonna let him pitch in that championship game if they make it. If he does, I think that that is gonna be absolutely epic. In all honesty, I think this WBC championship game may break the record for, baseball viewership.
Oh, without a doubt, when you got entire countries behind you like that, especially countries that could potentially offer as many viewers as Japan. Honestly, Mexico too. Mexico's got a huge fan base when it comes to their sports. So, uh, this game right here is going to be insane. But then that championship matchup that you talked about, that is going to do numbers. Hopefully, fans of Team USA will be showing up for the USA because they've been cooking and the fans have been bringing good energy for sure, but I'm trying to see some energy that the Puerto Rican and the Dominican, Venezuelan fans bring. I want to see that energy from the USA fans because this game is going to be huge.
Yeah, this game is gonna be huge. I am waiting for it. It's gonna be tonight, USA versus Cuba, and then tomorrow night we'll have Japan versus Mexico, and then the night after we will have the championship on Tuesday night. Tuesday here in the US. If you're in Japan, I think it'll be Wednesday. But this is going to be an absolute great ending to an absolute epic tournament. So
Mhm.
I'm just really, really looking forward to these last 3 games.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of this tournament plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing if our predictions might hit. If Alex's team takes it all, my team, I'm claiming them. I'm claiming them. I can do that because I live here. I live here,
You live
guys.
here. You were
So yeah,
born here.
yeah. So it's not even a bandwagon. I was already on this. I was just looking from the outside or whatever. But yeah, I really cannot wait to see how this plays out. Like Alex said, potentially record breaking championship game for the WBC coming up, and I really cannot wait to see the atmosphere for that game. But until then, peace.
Peace.